Hey guys, it's Skin here at GLHF TV. So, depending on which platform you've been playing the game on, you either have a little more or a little less than a week of experience with No Man's Sky so far. No Man's Sky is a bit of a conundrum to me. I want to like this game. I really want to like this game. And there are parts of this game that I do like. And trying to look beyond the technical issues that are going on with the game right now, the frame rate issues, the pop-in, just the game even crashing for some people outright, or not even launching. Those, I believe, over time will be fixed. What needs a ton of tweaking is, of course, the game itself. To me, there's a surprising amount of similarity in the way I feel about No Man's Sky and the way I felt about Vanilla Destiny when I finished the story and the main campaign in Vanilla Destiny. Even when I finished the Vault of Glass for the first time, in Destiny, I should say. Both of these games kind of start on a similar path, in so much as both of them exist, or existed in the case of Vanilla Destiny, in a state where the grid work for a brilliant title is there. The framework, the skeleton of what could be a borderline legendary game is all there. But then the repetition kicks in. With No Man's Sky, the whole appeal of the game is the fact that you can go out into the stars and explore from planet to planet and experience all of these numerous and wonderful things that are going to be completely unique to you because it's all procedurally generated. But very quickly, about 8 to 10 hours into the game, which for a game of this scale, 8 to 10 hours is not that much of a time investment, or they would make you want to feel that way, I think, you start to realize how rinse and repeat the game is. How you're pretty much going along the same 5 or 6 steps, again and again and again, in order to get this item, or to buy a new ship, or buy a new multi-tool, or whatever the next little incremental jump in your technology is, whatever it may be. You eventually just get to the point that you're asking, why am I doing this? Why am I going through all of these motions and spending so much time on this game to get better items when there is legitimately no end goal in sight? As of now, I'm about 20 hours into the game. I've gotten a bunch of Atlas stations, I've experienced dozens of planets and systems, and the repetitiveness is really starting to kick in. And here's why I talk about No Man's Sky in the same terms of Destiny. Destiny, in Vanilla Destiny, and for a long period of Destiny's lifespan, the game has been known for its repetitiveness, for its rinse and repeat of needing to do the same things over and over and over again in order to get the better items in Destiny. And No Man's Sky is very much the same way. But the major difference is, in Destiny, you were literally doing the same missions over and over and over again. You knew where enemies would spawn, you knew when they would spawn, you knew patterns in these levels that you could just eventually get an entire grasp on. But in No Man's Sky, the amount of travel you're supposed to be doing, the amount of exploration and searching and researching when it comes to documenting everything on these planets, even though it's not as technically repetitious as doing the same missions over and over again like in Destiny, planet to planet, there's really not enough variation. There's just not. The biggest variation you have from planet to planet is whether or not the atmosphere in that planet is dangerous. Is it hot? Is it cold? Is it poisonous? Is it toxic? That's the real danger you face in the game. But apart from that danger, every planet starts to feel the same. And there's really only two kinds of planets you worry about, ones that have resources and ones that don't. And you just keep on going to planets that have resources, mining as many of them as you need until you can get a more powerful item, and then just jumping off to the next planetary system. It is still rinse and repeat. And Destiny was able to slowly learn over time what worked and what didn't and what needed to be rebalanced. And this is all with me completely ignoring and not talking about the fact that No Man's Sky, a game that has an enormous, seemingly multiplayer aspect to it, isn't multiplayer right now. Which is a huge, huge problem, if you ask me, and I think the majority of people who have played the game. Destiny has been able to improve over time with expansions and balances and tweaks to the overall gameplay that have made it go from a very underwhelming, lackluster start to what is easily one of my favorite games currently, and the new expansion coming out in just a few weeks now is something I'm really highly anticipating. And I do really hope that No Man's Sky has a similar future, one that expansions and tweaks and just overall changes to the game slowly improve it and shape it into the game that it can be, the way that Destiny did. I'm not entirely sure that's possible at this point, as in my opinion, the absurd scale of No Man's Sky almost works against it more than it works for it. But if they find a way to focus the game just a little bit more and lead you down a more meaningful path, I think No Man's Sky could be spectacular. But as it exists right now, I think we're looking at disappointment levels equal, if not greater, than those of the likes of Spore or the PC release of Arkham Knight. The game is selling well, there's no doubt about that. But does No Man's Sky have a future? That's entirely up to them right now. And from the communication I've seen so far, I'm not sure. Again, the game's only been out for a week. We have plenty of time to see where this game goes. But right now, it's definitely spinning its wheels in place and needs a severe amount of tweaking and expanded content in order to have anything approaching the lifespan the game seems to think it deserves.